So example 9, we have an employee who's trying to decide her best way to get to work to save her the most money so she doesn't have to work as hard to make ends meet. Right? And she lives 50 miles from her place of work, which is a 100-mile round trip. So she's, first of all, she's not living in a good spot. But that's where she lives, so we're going to work with that. She has option A is drive her car to work. Option B, take a bus. All right? And we want to compare the relative cost of these two options. So what we want to do is look and see how much each option costs. So a monthly bus pass costs $150 and she can walk to the bus stop. So if she wants to take the bus, her cost is exactly $150 a month, right? That work for everybody? Okay, that's straightforward, nothing too ridiculous about that. So this would be option 1. She's taking the bus only, so bus only is $150. Now we want to see what the car cost is. So first thing, her car gets 25 miles per gallon of gas. So every mile on the car equals 1 gallon of gas. Estimated cost of gas at the time this problem was maybe $3.70 per gallon. Recently it's gotten lower, right? Okay, yeah, it got lower because people stopped driving places for a while. It's now starting to creep back up. It's right around $2 a gallon right now, give or take 10 cents, but somewhere in that neighborhood. But for the sake of this problem, we're going to say gas is $3.70 a gallon. And she works 21 days per month, which means for 21 days she needs to drive her car to work, right? She has to buy the bus pass for all 30 days. She only needs to drive her car 21 days. So we need to find out how much it's going to cost her to drive her car with these criteria. So let's just take a look at each of these things. So 1 gallon of gas is equal to 25 miles of travel. 1 gallon of gas costs $3.70. And she works 21 days working. Okay, so let's start off with the obvious fact. She's working for 21 days and she lives 50 miles there, 50 miles back, so a 100-mile round trip to work. We're going to assume she comes home every night. She's not going to stay at work and sleep at her desk and then...
Some people should do that.
Well, but she's not. She's the kind of person who likes to sleep in her own bed. So she's going to drive to work and drive home. So for 21 days, she's going to drive 50 miles there, 50 miles back, right? So we can very easily determine the number of miles there, right? So she works for 21 days, and every day she works, she drives 100 miles. 2,100 miles is how many miles she's going to put on her car in a month. You all follow that okay? So what we know is we're trying to figure out her gas cost basically at this point. And we know first off 1 gallon of gas gets her 25 miles. So if I take how far she went, 2,100 miles, put that over 1, and 1 gallon of gas gets her 25 miles, all right? So we have unit of mile on top and unit of mile on the bottom. Mile cancels mile, now we're into gallons. So we can figure out with that how many gallons of gas she's going to have to use in her tank. We don't care about that. What we care about is how much it's going to cost her, and 1 gallon of gas costs $3.70. So currently gallons lives in the numerator, so I put gallons in the denominator, and money is in the numerator, so $3.70 for every 1 gallon. Gallon on top, gallon on bottom cancel, and now I'm into money, right? I got 2,100 on top, 25 on bottom, and $3.70 on top. So I'm looking at 2,100 divided by 25 times $3.70 equals. And again, I'm just going to punch in my calculator just like that. I hit divided by before numbers I want to divide. I'd hit times before numbers I want to multiply. My calculator can handle that type of stuff. So 2,100 divided by 25 times $3.70 comes out to $310.80. As far as money problems are concerned, I would say round to the nearest cent would be a pretty convenient way to do money every time. So go 2 decimal places. So it cost her to use her car $310.80. So $310.80. We subtract $150 the cost of a bus pass. It will cost her $160.80 extra to drive her car. So how much will the employee save a month if she took the bus? She'd save $160.80. Now, just for the sake of argument, let's just say we're living in today's world where cost of gas is about $2 a gallon. So instead of $3.70 here, it's going to be $2. Let's just see what that comes out to. So, oops. Got the wrong calculator open there, sorry about that. So if I do 2,100 divided by 25 times $2 instead of $3.70, still $168. She saves $18 in that scenario. Maybe she makes the argument, I like driving my car, so I'm going to drive my car. Maybe it's worth it at that point, right? But in the current state of her affairs, they're $3.70 per gallon. I think it's worth a bus pass to save $160 a month. So. Okay, that's a real life, real world example of something that might happen to you in your real life. You might have to make decisions about what do I want to do for transportation to work. You might have to look at your variables factoring into that, how many miles per gallon, how much a gallon of gas costs, that kind of stuff. How many miles do I have to drive to work there and back? What's my best route of transportation to get to work? So things to think about in your future lives.